Hi, welcome to the video. Truth is, I hate this story. But I guess I at least got the surgery done. I guess that's a plus side. Also, I'm super sorry for not uploading this past week. For you, those who don't know, in Texas it's just been having a really hard time with cold weather and everything. And I was one of those affected, but I've also been having internet problems since Saturday, so I do apologize. Since I can remember, I've always had some type of teeth problem. I went to dentist after dentist after dentist when I was a kid, but nobody could really figure out what to do, and the people that had ideas, they were just way too expensive or just too crazy to try. Eventually, I found the dentist I have now, and honestly, he's a really great guy, and he's worked really hard on me for the past 10 years. Wow, I'm old. But not just him, the people around him are really dedicated to helping me, and honestly it's just kind of great to kind of see. But whenever I found this dentist, that's kind of when all the surgeries started to happen. From the ages to about 9 to 17, I had about 3 surgeries a year. I had some more, some less, but generally it was about 3 a year. As time went on though, and I had more and more surgeries, my mouth started looking more and more normal. I actually got to get, less and less visits and more normal visits to an actual dentist rather than a specialist. Then around March of when I was 17, so a couple years ago, we noticed that my wisdom teeth were coming in, but they happened to be forming weirdly. This was about the time that me and my parents just kind of sat there inside. Surprisingly, all we had to do was just get a surgery, like just any other surgery that any other person would have, just to take them out. I was still a little hesitant about the whole thing because I never really have liked surgeries, but I knew eventually I had to get it done, so my hand was kind of forced. We scheduled it for October of that year. Fact is, this sucked. I kid. There's going to be more added here. The dreaded morning finally came, and I had to be up at 5 in the morning, which sucked really bad because I was a hardcore gamer at that time. I stayed up late, and I've never been a morning person for my entire life. Honestly, this was almost the hardest part, was just getting out of bed. But I did, and when we got there, my mom wished me luck, and off I went into the dentist. Weirdly, the surgery room itself wasn't any different than what I was used to. I had the TV on the ceiling, so whenever they laid you back in the chair, you were just kind of chilling. I didn't want to get knocked out for this surgery because I just didn't want to have to deal with that, so we just used laughing gas and just numbness shots. The doctor that was going to do the surgery was actually fairly new, but he apparently knew me pretty well, but I didn't know him, so we had to introduce each other. Finally, the laughing gas finally started to get to me, and I was just kind of ready just to chill and vibe for a little bit, have the surgery done. But the dentist goes to numb my mouth, and he apparently misses and numbs something else or doesn't really do it right. And so whenever he starts getting started, I'm like, time out, you gotta numb it again or something. He goes, all right, and asks the nurse to go get more shots. She comes back a couple minutes later with 20 shots. That's about the time that I knew that, man, I'm gonna just not be able to feel my mouth ever again. 20 shots later, we're going along with the surgery, and I noticed the dentist was having a hard time. He was a pretty big guy, but I noticed that he was having trouble getting stuff out, and I could feel him. I could feel the pressure, I guess you could say, not the pain. Me being drugged and confused, I tried to ask him what's going on, and that's when I swallowed some blood, and that's when he's like, oh, you gotta stop, but we're having a little bit of trouble because your wisdom teeth are really far in your mouth. I'll spare the details of the rest of the surgery because it is a little gruesome. It wasn't a great surgery at all, but I managed to survive. And I would probably say the hardest part about the entire surgery was the dentist had a really hard time getting my top right wisdom tooth out, to the point where he was pushing so hard on my jawbone that he actually nearly broke it. It was so bruised and battered afterwards. After a long process of the surgery, I was finally out and headed home, but we had to go back because we needed stronger pain medicine because how much pressure and stuff they were putting in my mouth. This medicine was actually only prescribed to adults, which at that time I was almost 18. I was a couple months away from my 18th birthday, and I'd already been the size of adult, so there was really no problem with giving me that. My face hurt, my face was super swollen, but they were up. I know a lot of people are scared of the dentist but honestly, the far majority of dentists are great and good. Like, they're amazing. They work so hard on our teeth and they do such a good job. The one who took out my wisdom teeth wasn't a good dentist. He wasn't great, but I could tell he still cared. He was pretty passionate about his work, but I know that was probably one of his first few surgeries, so I'm glad I'm hoping he was able to improve. But I do still need a few more things for my mouth, and I'm more than willing and excited to finally get them done. I also try to spare some of the really gruesome details for you guys because I know that y'all really don't want to hear about blood and stuff like that because that's a little bit creepy. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you want to catch the next video. Tell me about a time you went to the dentist in the comments down below. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.